almost the same setup as first down. As a first down play, Munoz asked for it. This time it'll be a give up the middle, and that's not fooling anybody. In fact, that'll be a 2-yard loss. So the Wolverines almost had a sensational play, and then on second down, lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, no, on the previous play, you got a simple goal pattern by the receiver, and just a little bit of miscommunication from the quarterback to the receiver causes that pass to be incomplete. That sets up the defense to go ahead and read the next play there, Javi. Expecting the run from Joaquin Sanchez. They pile it up in the middle, and they stuff him for a 1-yard loss. Now we got a third and about 12 here, and the Wolverines are deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and let's see if the Wolverines can overcome this 12-yard play, and they're going to try to go deep again. And a lot of pushing and shoving, and finally they say they throw a flag, and that was Michael Munoz who had to step on his defender, and shoving is going to result in an interference penalty against the visiting Veterans Memorial team.
And we haven't touched upon it up here. They've been letting them play for the most part, but we'll get the call down on the field, and you're absolutely right. Pass interference here.
Number 14 on the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's an automatic first down.
And so, Javi, let's, we talked about all the contact that's being made down there, and they've been, for the most part, letting these boys play, but definitely it was about time they got the call there, and, a little bit too much contact by number 14.
Right. Yeah, he definitely impeded his progress, kept him from making the reception, so good call. It'll be a new set of downs. They move the ball all the way up to the 34-yard line, and let's see if Munoz and the Wolverine team can take advantage of that. A stumble in the backfield, but then a good burst of running, and he's off to the races, and finally gets dragged down at the 47-yard line, and that's again Sanchez with a fine bit of running for the Wolverines.
No, that's your workhorse there, Javi. You're going to give the rock to him, and he's going to do what he's been taught to do all his football life here, and we see the replay here. Just a simple handoff, a little trip up the middle, but then it gathers his footing, jumps over the defender there, and just pounds the rock forward for that first down for the Wolverines.
I believe that was a 15-yard run by Sanchez. So they cross midfield, do the Wolverines, trying to get themselves into the end zone for the first time this season. And there's a long pass. Munoz had a step on him again. And, of course, that was Orlando Munoz trying to find Michael Munoz.
So that's the next time, another goal route again by Munoz. This time Munoz a little gassed on that other one, and able to get the ball, as we see here on the replay. A wonderful job by the lineman, chopping the defensive lineman, letting Munoz have the time to throw the ball, and just a little out of the reach of his receiver, but wide open was that number 4, Michael Munoz.
They've gone back to that play several times. I'm sure before the night's over, they're going to hit it, and they're going to hit it big. But right now it'll be 2nd and 10. It's a give to number 9, Tavis Sane, and he does a good job of running right there. He'll pick up about 10 yards on the play, and that might be just enough for a first down.
And I believe they are going to mark it just a little bit short, but a little bit of thunder and lightning for Memorial there as they give the ball to Sane. Here we see the replay. He's trying to get the edge there, able to get the edge. Very fortunate that there was no horse call on that, and very fortunate that there was no injury there, as we do see the pull on that jersey. But a 3rd and short here with 9:56 left in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Sane comes in to relieve Sanchez, picks up 9 yards on that play. So a very manageable 3rd down coming up for the Wolverine offense. And the give is around the right side of the defensive front. And I'm not sure if he got it. Sane should have tried to cut upfield a little bit sooner. He tried to stretch out the defense, was unable to. And I believe he lost about half a yard, so it'll be 4th down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and maybe just a little bit of inexperience there by the receiver carrying the ball there, as he doesn't go north and south.
PSJA Memorial, they're first.
And the coach is calling a timeout here to talk it over on 4th and about 2. But the defense going left to right, east to west, is going to have a chance to catch their breath here, and expecting the ball to be handed off to number 25, Joaquin. Expect them to plug up the middle very heavily on this next play, Javi.
Yeah, the Wolverines call a timeout. They got to come up with a big play right here. It's 4th and 2. And, you know, let's see what Uribe and the offense come up with here. Do they give it to Sanchez? You know, Sanchez is their bread and butter man. He's the one that's been a workhorse tonight. Or do they rely on Munoz to pick it up with his arm?
Yeah, and so now here they go. They get on the field. They've got the play lined up. They know what they want to call. They might expect maybe trying to draw them offsides here, Javi.
That could be another possibility right there. There's 20 seconds remaining on the play clock. So a lot of clock to play with. And it's a give up the middle. And that'll be enough for a first down. So an excellent job of play calling and a much better job by that offensive line, opening up a huge hole for Sanchez.
And once again, Sanchez doing it with his legs, Javi, as he's able to choose and pick his hole that he wants to run on. The line gets stuffed up in the middle. He just sidesteps here, as we see on the replay. Nothing doing in the middle, just sidesteps a little bit off to the right-hand side, goes forward, and picks up the yardage needed to get that first down.
And that is the second first down of this possession, and the Wolverines are sneaking closer and closer to that end zone. And Munoz fires it, floats it up the middle, just overthrows his receiver.
And then here we go. Let's go ahead and throw it down to our sideline reporter, Pedro Leja. Take it away, please.
Holding.
Yes, guys, back on the field. You know, the Wolverines are trying to make things happen. Michael Uribe is looking a little bit more aggressive, throwing the ball. So right now, the quarterback, Muniz, is making things happen together with Mr. Joaquin Sanchez. So let's hope for the best, and hopefully they can score on this drive. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Pedro. And you know, Pedro has a good point. You know, they're attacking. They're attacking. The Wolverines are attacking. They're trying to make the best out of their opportunities. But that penalty hurt them right there. That, you know, those are sometimes drive killers. It's hard to overcome a 10-yard penalty, and it'll be 1st and 20 for the Wolverines. And Munoz drifts off to his left, rolls out to his left, fires, finds a man open. So finally Munoz able to connect with the receiver, and that'll get most of the penalty yards back.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. And this time that was a timer out pattern by Oviedo, number 10, and good timing from Munoz to Oviedo. But Pedro Leja, you know, here we see the replay. Munoz rolls out to his left, finds a wide open Oviedo on the sideline, able to get both feet in bounds, and steps out of bounds there. Should have probably blown the whistle a little sooner, so we wouldn't have to take that extra contact. But what we're seeing here, Javi, is the Wolverines going back to their fundamentals, and the fundamentals are able to move the ball forward and get those first downs here on this drive.
Yeah, they're looking a lot better both offensively and defensively. Munoz with the prior pass completion has 60 yards throwing on the evening. You know, last week Munoz had 114 yards passing. So let's see if he can get back up over the 100-yard mark tonight, and the Wolverines may need a passing play here as they are going to face a 3rd and 6 from the Patriots 30-yard line.
And here we see the replay. Just a quick give there to number 25, Joaquin Sanchez, who's been doing a lot of the work for the Wolverines tonight. That offensive line doing an excellent job opening those holes on this series, Javi. And now we got a 3-receiver set up on top, 1 receiver on the bottom. Joaquin Sanchez lined up to the left.
And let's see if they give it to Sanchez, who needs 4 more yards to get over the century mark. Instead, it's going to be a pass, a wide open receiver. And just not able to connect. You know, his Munoz's rhythm is off a little bit tonight, just not able to connect. Number 4, Michael Munoz, was wide open. The ball sails out of bounds, so that'll be a 4th down coming up. And, of course, the Wolverines will be going for it.
And you chalk that up back to, we were just talking about fundamentals. You talk about footwork for the quarterback. And the quarterback has enough time in that pocket to settle down. He's got his receiver open. All he's got to set down his right, left foot, and then toss. But he's throwing on the motion. That ball sails high, Javi.
And there is a man in motion here on 4th down. And Munoz fires. He does hit a receiver. Let's see if he can turn upfield. I don't know if he turned upfield quick enough. And once again, that east-west movement isn't going to get him the extra yards that he needs. It's going to be very close. I do believe he just got enough. He had to get to the 24. And here we see on the replay, you know, just a good toss right there to Adrian Garza. He's trying to fight for that yardage, and they will give it to him. Wolverine, first down.
And good spot by the officials there. As we saw in the replay, he does catch that ball at the 24-yard line, and that's where they mark it, and that's just enough for the first down, and sets up another series here for the Wolverines.
And the Wolverines continue to move the ball. They continue to eat up clock, and those are two positive things on the evening. And a big-time run right up the middle by Sanchez. That'll definitely get him over the 100-yard mark, and that'll put the Wolverines into a second and short situation.
And this is really what the Wolverine football is about, is just the ground and pound. And they open up the air game by setting up the ground game. And they do that with their workhorse, Joaquin Sanchez, as we see here on the replay. And a lot of credit, to that offensive line and to Sanchez, who's taking this team on their back and, trying to get something positive before this night's over.
And on second down, the give is up the middle once again, a crease. And the running back, Sanchez, is able to sneak through there. He should have more than enough for a first down. So the Wolverines inching closer and closer. Another set of new downs. They get all the way to the Patriots' 12-yard line.
And substitutions for the veterans as they get a little gassed there. But here we see the replay why they're getting gassed. Joaquin Sanchez is making this guy's work to bring him down as he's able to elude one or two tacklers and still pound the ball forward. Now we go here, 1st and 10, and they have another opportunity to get a first down before they get to the end zone, Javi.
You're correct, and let's see if the Wolverines can get in the end zone. They're going to go for it on first down, and once again, Munoz just not in sync with his receiver. Overshoots him. It'll bring up a second down. Of course, Robert, the Wolverines have not found the end zone so far this year. They have a couple of field goals, so the Wolverines would like nothing better than to get it into that pay dirt.
Absolutely right there, Javi. That'd be a great exclamation point for the night. It's been a long night for both teams here, and as we get set up, here's the snap to Joaquin one more time.
And Joaquin puts his shoulder pads down and flexes his muscles and gets all the way to the 6-yard line. So another good run right there by Sanchez. And you can see his vision. His eyes are just scanning the defense and just trying to find some hole.
Yeah, and loses his footing there because that defender just flew by him. If he's able to keep his footing, I guarantee you he's going to put, scramble in there for those extra 5 yards and score the first touchdown for the Wolverines. But here they go, knocking on the door, 3rd and about 4.
It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 5-yard line, 6-yard line. And the give is up the middle, and he came very close. He got to the 1-yard line. So the Wolverines will have 1st and goal from the Patriots 1-yard line with 4:28 remaining in the ballgame.
And here we see the replay. Joaquin Sanchez doing the work all this series this time around. Unable to cross that line of scrimmage as he reaches in over with his hand, but unfortunately the ball's got to cross, break that plane.
Yeah, the ball's got to cross the plane. They were a yard away, folks, from scoring their initial touchdown, their first touchdown of the season, and it's a given. Who better to give it to than to Sanchez? He deserves that, and that is a big touchdown for the PSJA Memorial Wolverines, folks. A 1-yard plunge by Joaquin Sanchez.
And hats off there to the coaching staff. I'm bringing it back here to the fundamentals of Wolverine football, and that was a wonderful series for them this time around with that exclamation point that we talked about being the 6 points on the board now. The score 9-41 with this extra point waiting.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. So with a score 41-10, we're going to shoot it back down to the sidelines.
So after all, the Wolverines decided to give the ball to Joaquin Sanchez, so he ran over the 100-yard mark today on tonight's game, and also he scored the first touchdown of the season for the Wolverines. So the score right now, 41-10 in favor of the visiting Mission Veterans Patriots. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Pedro. So if we look at our stats here, provided by our staff here behind us, Damian and John, when the Wolverines had a total of 90 yards in the half, they've upped that total to a total of 202 yards of offense. So a good job bouncing back after that rough first quarter. And they're going to kick this ball back to the veterans. And, you know, we know that they might be full of trickery here as they've gone for a fake punt, squib kicks. So they're keeping this game very exciting, Javi.
Yes, they have. It's a much better second half. The first half, the Wolverines, I think they want to just throw that video away. No, throw it away. Put it in the trash can. Never look at it again. What you want to look at is the second half. Their heart, their desire to play well has shown. You know, they're playing good, inspired football. And this is what we've come to know in the last, couple years. The Wolverines last year were turning the season around. Let's see if they can do it again this season.
Yeah, and exactly what we just talked about, a little squib kick there. You had a couple of veterans touch that ball, and unfortunately it didn't bounce the Wolverines' way as they're able to fall in at about the 35, 36-yard line. And they're giving the ball back to the very dangerous Landry Gilpin and this explosive spread attack offense that Mission Veterans brought over to PSJA DHR Health Field tonight.
Well, that's a question right there. Will they continue to go with their starting unit with Gilpin, or will they give some other people opportunities to play? And on first down, a pass is caught by number 85. That is Juan Resendez, the junior, getting into the action.
And that was number 18, Ramses Flores, the quarterback for the Veterans. You're absolutely right. You got a new signal caller here for that offense. And Ramses Flores able to get his pass caught by his receiver for an 7-yard gain, setting up second and about 3.
So Flores picks up right where Gilpin left off. Pass completion, and this time Flores elects to keep it. He's more of a bruising quarterback, and he carries a pile for about couple yards. He'll be about half a yard short to a good full yard short of a first down.
And gets up a little limpy there, but getting ready for the call here. They're only going to need about half a yard for that first down. You're not going to get a lot of juke from number 18 here, Ramses. He's just going to go ahead and just drive it down your throat there if you're not careful. So the defense is setting up here.
And the defense trying to attack, and they do a great job at the line of scrimmage. They dominated the line of scrimmage on that play. No gain. So a fourth down coming up for the Veterans Memorial and the Wolverines.
And you got to credit the defense here for making that wonderful play, but they did have the opportunity to catch their breath because that drive prior to that took plenty of time off the clock and allowed them to regroup, and now they have an opportunity to stop the Veterans here on 4th and short.
And on 4th and short, before we do have the fourth down play, we have a couple of penalty flags.
And it looks like they're going to move the Veterans about 5 yards back on a false start here.
False start. Number 64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
So let's see if this changes the coach's mind for the Veterans Memorial team here, as they now face a 4th and 6 here, Javi.
Yeah, and the key is that they got pushed back inside their own 40-yard line. So I don't know if they want to risk the fact that if they don't pick it up, the Wolverines are going to have great field position. But it appears they're going for it. Good snap. Quarterback sits in the pocket. He fires it deep. The receiver adjusts tremendously, and that is just a great job by the receiver. That is number 13 on an underthrown ball. Number 13 comes back to make the reception, and that is Eddie Vasquez, the junior.
So a gutsy call by the coaches on our visiting side, and a well-thrown ball. You said it's a little short, so the receiver is able to adjust to it. Our defensive player here on this end also had an opportunity to it, but was on the wrong side of the receiving end there as the receiver fights the ball away from him, and Veterans able to get up a first down here in Wolverine territory.
And it was a big first down. They move it all the way to the Wolverines' 26-yard line. And as we said all night, the defense for the Wolverines, they're kind of hit or miss. There's times where they look very solid. They look very stout defensively, but then they give up a big play. They need to get more consistency from that defensive front, allowing the secondary a more ample time to have better coverage.
Yeah, and the coaches for the visiting team up to about the numbers. They're trying to get the play in, and now they face the second and about 12. 1 minute left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, time is running out, and that's probably why they went out there to the numbers to be able to get their offense into the victory formation. And Robert, PSG Memorial, they're playing hard, they're playing well, But they've run into what I think are two teams that could very well challenge for district championships.
And you know, I'm going to use the term you use. There are these two teams that seem like buzzsaws in their respective district. And, you know, hopefully they can rebound from this one because, you know, one game does not make a season.
No, it does not.
And they got plenty of grit, plenty of fight in them, as we saw them come out in the second half, and they can carry the second half momentum up to their next district game next week.
Well, thank you, Robert. I thank Damian and John for helping out in the booth. And with the final score 41-10, we're going to send it down to Pedro.
Thank you, guys. And well, you see it, the final score 41-10. That is the first victory for the Mission Veterans on the season, and it's a very good victory because it's a district 16-5A Division 1 win. Tomorrow night, the PSJA Bears are going to host Corpus Christi King. Let's remember that last week the Bears lost versus Flor Bluff in Corpus Christi. The game is set to start tomorrow at 7:30. And of course, you can watch it here with us at KTRI PSJA ASD on YouTube channel. Thank you for everything and see you guys tomorrow.